Good morning. What a great day it is for us to be able to dive into God's Word. His mercies are new every single day, and we are so grateful for that. We're going to be in Mark chapter 4 today. Jesus has been going through a handful of parables. We've just heard the parable of the sower and how important that is to understand the need for us to be those who are constantly sowing seeds of the Word, understanding there's all different types of responses. And the hope is that we get to see more of that the seed land on good, fresh, ripe soil, ready to produce a great harvest. So he's continuing on a similar line as he shares another parable with his disciples. So here we are. We're in chapter 4. We'll be in verse 21 through 23. Also, he said to them, "Is a lamp brought to be put under a basket or under a bed? Is it not to be set on a lampstand? For there is nothing hidden which will not be revealed, nor has anything been kept secret, but that it should come to light. If anyone has ears, let him hear." And so we know that Jesus has used an example of the fact that we should be like lights, that we are called to be the light of the world there in Matthew chapter 5, and that we should be shining brightly. Now, the fact that he makes a distinction between the light as well as the fact that things are hidden, there's an implication here, right? That you have light and you have darkness. And in order to understand the parable, we've got to understand the realities of what happens when light shines. So first of all, we have darkness. Darkness is going to be all enveloping, right? If you're in a pitch black, room, you don't see anything. It's one of those things that should lead to fear. You're hoping that you're not going to run into anything, right? You have no capacity to see. Darkness is something that just kind of is fully surrounding whatever's going to be there. But the thing that happens is that then you have light, and even if you go in the darkest of nights, you look up in the sky and you'll see these, stars that will shine. And it gives a sense of direction. By that small light that shines billions of miles away, people were able to navigate the seas. They were able to know which direction was north, even when it was dark and you couldn't tell the movement of the sun. I can think of as a child when we used to live in, I lived in Colorado, and you could see Pikes Peak. There was always a light on the very top of Pikes Peak that you could always see it in the middle of the night. And you knew that it was there, and it gave a sense of direction, and it gave a sense of safety. Lights were always used as for lighthouses. Along a rough, rocky coast, they would put up lighthouses on all the headlands so that people could navigate and know where there would be safe passage that they might be able to go through. Lights have always been something that have been used in the middle of darkness to provide safety, to provide security, and to provide direction. And then we also get to see that darkness never pierces the light. You can't shine darkness, but you certainly can shine the light. And so when he tells us, like, we're called to be light that shines in a dark place, immediately, if you're in a pitch black room and someone turns on just a small light, the eyes will go straight over into that direction. And that's what it should look like. This incredible contrast between you and me and the rest of the world. People should know that there is a unique difference between those who are followers of Jesus Christ, those who have truly been able to experience the blessing of God shining so brightly in our lives, that when they look at the rest of the world, they would see something that would be depressive, would be hopeless, would be chasing after all the things that don't actually bring real and lasting joy and true inner peace, but rather they would see us that would stand different, unique, one who has, no longer their heart set on the things of this world, a desire for money, a desire of things, a desire of just a little edge taken off of a really hard day. No, we have something different. We have something that truly is welling up from the inside that should be seen on the outside, and the world should look at us and be like, wow, I don't know what is the difference between you and everybody else I know, but I want what you have. And that should be our heart. That should be our motive. That should be our drive, so that we might be like a lighthouse that shines, in a dark night, saying, listen, there's something to be avoided here. The direction of safety is going to be is to be going over here. You're close to land, all those sorts of things, which we ought to be, and we ought to be bright. We don't put this under a lampstand. We don't try to hide it. It has to be out front and center for every person to be able to see and to know. And he says that, for there is nothing hidden which will not be revealed, nor has anything been kept secret, but that it should come to light. In the same respect, we know that the Lord will also shine lights on dark areas. He does this by his grace, his mercy, and sometimes by his judgment. And so when there's darkness in our life, that's also going to be something that is seen. And by his grace and mercy, he shines us. So we no longer have to live with the shame, the guilt, the constant hiding. Now, we're going to face consequences, sure, but there's a freedom every time the light shines in areas of darkness. So I encourage you today, right, that if you have ears to hear, that you'd hear the truth. You'd hear the truth that we're called to be lights that shine in a dark place, that our lives ought to look different, and that your attitude, your actions today matter to every person who you may come in contact with, because they need to see a contrast between the light and the darkness. So go out, guys, shine bright. Don't put your light under a basket or under the bed, but let's place it on a lampstand so it lights up everywhere we go, and people know a difference between what it looks like to follow Jesus Christ versus what the world looks like. Love you. God bless y'all. See you tomorrow morning.